Hollywood Mystery is a triple murder mystery. The original title is I Hate Actors. This book is a crazy comedy. The premise is that everyone in Hollywood is completely insane. The only normal person is our unnamed narrator, who's a scriptwriter, and it's funny when you realize author Ben Hecht won 2 Academy Awards for screenwriting, so he's basically writing about himself.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
The first chapter is kind of bad, because I have to start the review with a lot of boring stuff, and the cover artist clearly didn't read past the first chapter, so let me spend like 2 minutes describing the cover scene. Our main character is the unscrupulous agent Orlando Higgins. He normally loves chaos, but he's got a terrible headache. His headache is cured by an Indian yogi named Mr. Albert. Orlando immediately hires Albert to be his personal guru. Albert is paid huge amounts of money to follow Orlando around all day and occasionally massage his forehead. Albert has a daughter named Karoma who wants to be an actress. The problem is she can't act, she can't dance. The only thing she can do is walk around almost naked. The Hollywood people decide, well, that makes her more than qualified to be a movie star. Enough about the cover. Let's get to the murder stuff, shall we? The movie studio's getting ready to film a historical epic, but they've got lots of problems. 3 people are causing problems. First is an old has-been named Lawrence Bison. He's furious that they're remaking his big movie from 20 years ago. He thinks he should be the main character in the remake. He harasses the studio nonstop. Second, the leading lady is gorgeous Elvina Bloom. She hates the star of the show because he forgot to show up to their wedding. In his defense, she forgot to show up to the wedding too. Elvina likes to throw fake crying fits all the time. They would probably work better if everyone didn't know she's a professional actress. The third person causing problems is actor Paul Jones, who's a pacifist. He says he hates the movie script, and he tries to prove he's a pacifist by taking a chair and beating the director with it. The poor director suffers a lot in this book, but no one really cares. Orlando comes up with outlandish solutions for all 3 problems. He has Jones declared insane. Psychiatrists dope him out with drugs 24/7. Surprisingly, Jones is a much better actor when he's drugged. Orlando's solution for Bison is similar. He gets Bison really, really drunk. That way Bison will pass out and miss the auditions. Bison has a very high alcohol tolerance, though. It takes a full week of drinking nothing but martinis before he passes out. As for Elvina, Orlando convinces her to stay in the movie by proposing marriage to her. She's overjoyed, but not so overjoyed that she stops dating her multiple boyfriends. The main character in the movie is murdered in the middle of the night. The police arrest Orlando while he's doing exercises in the nude. It was a weird scene. Orlando's innocent, but his outlandish father assumes he's a killer without any evidence whatsoever. Thanks, Dad. You're the greatest. Dad goes to great lengths to create a fake alibi for Orlando, and Orlando struggles to keep up with it. In reality, Orlando's alibi is a woman named Betha Fancer. He loves her. She's so innocent and wonderful, and the best part is, she's not in the movie business. The next day's newspaper reveals Betha is actually a publicity-crazed wannabe actress. She claims she had a secret love child with the victim. She starts a big fight with Elvina and gets arrested for the murder. This does nothing to stop Orlando's love for her. The newspapers make a wild fuss over the murder stuff because newspapers hate Hollywood. It's an evil den of sin and debauchery. Newspapers hope the movie-making business will be permanently destroyed. My, how times have changed. The culprit threatens to kill again if the movie's not stopped. The culprit poisons John Jones. When Dad finds the corpse, He goes, "Oh no, my son's killed again." So Dad shoots the dead body 8 times. He drags the corpse to the producer's house and purposely starts a gunfight with the security team in order to frame them. Dad's trick is quickly exposed, and he spends the rest of the book in the hospital. That's good, because I thought Dad was more annoying than funny, but I have to admit, I wonder how he would have tried to cover up for the third murder. There's a great joke chapter where the producer holds a big meeting with the writers department. He figures the people who write mystery movies can solve a murder mystery. Everyone's incompetent. They keep talking about murder movie tropes. The one guy keeps talking about dirty stuff. And the producer rules out every single suspect because accusing one of the actors would interrupt the filming schedule. Kuroma has a scene where her character's asleep and woken up. She overplays her role by yawning 5 times. Elvina gets so mad, she slaps Kuroma, which makes Bison so mad he tries to stab Elvina. So all the suspects are violent and murderous. Bison looks guilty when his alibi is broken and a threatening letter by him is found. Orlando wants to call the police, but he also doesn't want to lose a client. A client who he dismissed as an old has-been last month. So Orlando does nothing, which proves to be a mistake because Bison's the next victim. Elvina realizes she's been engaged 24 times, but she's never been married. She decides to officially marry Orlando, since he's the biggest liar and double-crosser she's ever met. She knows exactly what to expect from him. Orlando loves the idea of marriage. He immediately tries to elope with Betha. The narrator's secretary arrives with the mystery solution. She would have solved the mystery sooner, but the author had a page count to reach. I mean, she was having a love affair in Laguna Beach for weeks. Miss Wondershake is an alcoholic who loves showing off her knees. She talks primarily in love cliches. She hates being rushed. And I'm confused as to why she's given so much personality, considering that she's a one-scene character. She's arguably a more developed character than the director or the producer. The secretary says she saw Kuroma fleeing the scene of the murder. The narrator rushes to save Orlando from being Kuroma's next victim. There's a twist ending where Kuroma's father, Albert, is the killer. The end. Post-book follow-up. This book has some good laughs. I thought it was generally funny, although the characters of the father and the director fell flat for me. It's interesting as a time capsule of Hollywood during World War II. There are several jokes and scenarios which are specific to the time period, especially direct references to the war, and the fact that Hollywood and newspaper writers are mortal enemies. There are also jokes that would fit in a modern-day Hollywood parody, like how the public cares more about Elvina's love life than about her acting. They also care more about certain body parts of hers than her acting skills. The officer in charge of the investigation is a Cherokee named Lieutenant Egelhofer, who's the strong silent type. I thought he was an interesting detective. But he ends up being unimportant. He makes 2 arrests and spends the rest of the book fishing on the producer's yacht, because that's more fun than police work. The mystery could be improved. The narrator doesn't solve the mystery, he's told the solution by a one-scene character. The culprit's motive should have been better defined. The official explanation is a mixture of he's insane and Indians have weird religious beliefs, which is racist. It's my policy to take 5 points off a book's score if it has bad racist or sexist material. This book has both. Because it's a rowdy comedy, it's sometimes hard to tell if the author is truly sexist or if he's just making dirty jokes for shock value. I give Harlequin number 32, Hollywood Mystery, a 4 out of 10.